Give you what, Brian?
What? I want cheese. Gimme your cheese.
Moot point, an issue which no satisfactory answer is found.
This is all a moot point.
The meatloaf! We want it now! The meatloaf! Ma, the meatloaf!
Like a cow's opinion.
I've had it with this dump!
We got
Food!
we got no
jobs.
Our
pets.
Boss, we're not talking
It's
about you.
all a moot point.
Just
Doesn't
chill,
matter.
Chill, buddy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Moot Points podcast.
I don't even know if we need to say that anymore because it's not like people are discovering this randomly flipping through Sirius XM. Though that would be really nice if any of you have a connection with Sirius. You know what? Maybe I should just talk to my agent about that.
Yeah,
Before I
we
ask
asked
the audience.
ask the audience.
Who would have a connection? Oh yeah, Heather Cohen. She'd be on top of it. It's just funny. I know that we do that for the flow of the show.
Every podcast does that, though, and it's like, do you think anyone's ever turned it off? Like, oh my god, whoops.
Wait a minute.
I didn't mean to be listening
This
to
is not the Joe Rogan
not.
podcast at all. By the way, quick tangent. Have you listened to the Joe Rogan podcast lately?
No.
Joe Rogan is doing and it reminds me of what happened to me in Florida. This past weekend, I was in Panama City, Florida, and I don't know if you're familiar with Florida, but Florida is a state where idiots go to die. It just seems like old white people get crazier and crazier and dumber the farther south they go. It's really crazy.
No, I know. I saw the bumper sticker you posted.
Infowars,
Yeah.
with Alex Jones.
Still, we're doing this. Like, this guy is literally sitting in front of a grand, or like,
He's being deposed.
Yeah, being deposed for being a liar. For being
not just being a liar, wrecking the people, the parents of Sandy Hook Elementary School's lives, and calling it a hoax.
And then he's claiming it's like he went psycho, like psychotic.
He's trying to say that he had like a disconnect from reality because he was watching too many Netflix documentaries on conspiracy theories.
At that point, don't you take off the bumper sticker?
Yeah.
I mean,
here's the thing. I was explaining this to my girlfriend Jessica, and the reason I bring up Joe Rogan is because Joe Rogan is slowly devolving into rich white guy conspiracy theory bullshit. And that's what happens to rich people. Rich people start to lose real problems and start to have to look for weird problems that don't exist. Like, every rich person I know is convinced their house is haunted. You know why? Because your big ass house is empty and you hear creaks and whatever, and you're concerned. But also, like, that's rich people problems. I'm in an apartment that I think a squirrel fell through my bathroom roof the other day halfway because there's just a hole in the roof above my toilet. Like, I don't have time for ghosts, man. I got a squirrel.
Like, and screw like ghosts in your apartment. There's probably a dead person in that building somewhere.
Someone is dying.
Just stinking body just laying there. Like, there's a dead. You're afraid of ghosts? There's a dead person upstairs.
Every apartment in West Hollywood has a dead person in it right now.
Somewhere.
Just sitting there. So the thing is, like, I've listened to Joe Rogan podcast. I used to be a big fan of Joe Rogan. His comedy. I'm a fan of his career. He was one of those guys who was a tough Boston comedian. He used to be a kickboxer. I've heard the stories. He decided, like, yo, I'm sick of getting beat up by kickboxers and how much harder can comedy be, and he had that confidence he has now with everything he does, which he comes in like he just looks. White people just, when they get too old and blowhardy, they look red. They just look hate filled.
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan's getting that, where he was just on Infowars. And by the way, Infowars...
Why was he on Infowars?
He was a guest on Infowars with Alex Jones. And here's the thing. Infowars is such trash. And this isn't even a political thing. This is just a human being thing. Alex Jones and Infowars is such absolute garbage. Such just unfiltered conspiracy theory, hurtful rhetoric with no research in it, nothing. That it, like, out of the internet, which has got a lot of trash in it, it's the trashiest of the trash.
Well,
and it's awful. He was the one who spread that whole rumor that Sandy Hook, the shootings were a hoax, and you had 17 parents like, you're telling me I'm an actor? And he's like,
going all, getting all like sweaty and red faced. I mean, all you have to do is Google like the stupidest things that Alex Jones has said, and he literally has conspiracy theories that there's something in the water making people gay.
Yeah,
that
it's insanity.
That the water has been poisoned and is making people gay. Like, that's so dumb.
And what mystified...
That's so dumb. You made that up. You absolutely made that up. There's no facts to support that.
I mean, there's no logic behind it either.
No, it's stupid.
Just like it's not even worth discussing. But the thing is, this dude started the website InfoWars. They're so bad. He's so bad, and it's so reckless to the people, to the millions of subscribers that he had, that YouTube and Twitter were like, "You gotta go, dog. Like we can't have you
if
here
you
anymore."
get
Facebook.
kicked off Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter's only kicked off like a few people. That Milo, that conservative, that gay conservative Greek dude who was just hateful and going after like
he
Leslie
gay?
Jones. Yes, and like he's a real conundrum and a real problem for conservatives who are like real extremists like that. Like Alex Jones is like wants to partner with Milo, but then he's like, but I did say that water turns you gay.
I know, and it's
Like I think when he
so
thinks that
stupid.
Well, I think when he says that, like a guy like Alex Jones, this is what I imagine. He's not saying that drinking water makes you gay. He's saying that basking under like a waterfall in the middle of Costa Rica but then it's like, look, dude, what are you picturing when you think that something makes you gay? What are you envisioning that is so gay in your own fantasies that you think it's making people gay? Like when you say drinking water, how do you think that they're drinking that bottle of Evian, you weirdo?
Just colonic style.
I mean, what a jackass.
Reverse water drinking.
The people who just can't accept the fact that we're born on a spectrum of sexuality, like that ranges from like, you know, masculine to feminine to who you prefer. There's feminine men who love women. There's masculine men who love men. There's masculine women. It's just there's such a it's not black or white. And people who think that sexuality is black or white, I want to slap them and be like, you're stupid. I am a heterosexual male, but I am completely comfortable saying that like
Tom Hardy is hot.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hey, he's a good-looking dude.
Tom Hardy was even like, I even had a little, I was like, damn, he's a good-looking dude. And when he was just rough getting ravaged by animals and murdered in The Revenant. Like, him and DiCaprio muttered like 5 words. I was like, I still get it. When my girlfriend says that she would take a shot at DiCaprio and I have no say over it, I go, you know what? I get that. Tom Brady, I get that. There's some people who are so homophobic and so weird and ridiculous, they can't even like acknowledge that Tom Brady is hot. Like, you're a stupid idiot. You're a moron who doesn't understand, like...
I'm medium on Tom, but you know what I mean?
No, you just don't like him as a person.
Well, yeah, but that's
He's
part
also
of...
42 years old,
That's
man.
part of being hot, you know?
No.
Like, Gandhi wasn't, like, sexy, but still the man had it going on.
You let Gandhi take a shot?
Yeah.
Oh,
sure.
Pat wants a little Gandhi.
Why not? See how my voice gets real high? Yeah, sure.
I just think it's hilarious when people come up with like they come up with their theories on sexuality, and it's like, dude, whatever you think and whatever comes out of your mouth right now is your own imagination like torturing you.
And
like,
I don't...
stop trying to, like, you're thinking drinking water makes you gay. Like, what? Like, really, what are you afraid
and what
of?
he's also freaking out, and I wish we could pull...
Like, what do you think? Who do you think someone's stirring a big water vat with a unicorn horn and like spraying it out into West Hollywood?
Just like soaking...
Don't get hit by a sprinkler in West Hollywood. I'll turn you gay.
Going to Pump Fitness and collecting the sweat off all the machines and putting it back in the water system.
Listen, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I live in a gay neighborhood in West Hollywood, and the neighborhood is clean. People are very polite. It's a neighborhood on the come up.
Do you want to know how...
My gym is amazing. Every dude that I know there who is gay is like, hey, buddy, how you doing? And they're in perfect shape. Like, I think the secret to living a super long life, for some reason, I've seen 60-year-old gay dudes who are just shredded.
Yeah.
Like, why? Fat Alex Jones, are you afraid of being in good shape?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, and well organized, too. So West Hollywood is a city. Like, the
It's its
city
own
of
city,
West
yes.
Hollywood. It exists. You know what doesn't exist? Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's not a city.
Because
it's part
West
of Los
Hollywood-
Angeles. West Hollywood was taken over basically by, like, the gay community moved in there, and they were
And
like,
they said,
this is going to be our place. And they organized, and they like made it beautiful and
they
pretty.
set up a vote,
They set up a vote. They got their own
councils.
police force. I mean, like, honestly, like, there's a mayor of
hold on,
West
hold on,
Hollywood.
hold
Like,
on.
it's crazy.
You can't say, like, listen, It's just the city of West Hollywood is run by all sorts of folks, heterosexual,
Sure,
gay. It's
it's
like,
not-
when you say they got their own police force, it's like, you're gonna picture a bunch of cops that look like strippers.
Well, there is like, I mean, on the
Walking
side of the
around,
cars,
just beautiful quads.
the logo is of the city, like the outline of the city of West Hollywood with like rainbow
Yeah,
colors.
because they've embraced the rainbow. They've
Yeah.
embraced the identity.
Even the I mean, and how is that a bad thing? Like,
I
then
saw-
put more shit in the water so that we can organize everything. Because honestly, like,
man,
we're
my
falling
life-
apart right now.
I had a squirrel fall through my roof.
yeah.
So, anyways, the whole InfoWars thing was funny because I was trying to explain to my girlfriend about it, and she's like, there's really people that believe that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's the problem with conspiracy theories. With conspiracy theorists, once you convince someone that the government has lied to you and that you've been told something that's incorrect, you can go down any rabbit hole. And that's why, like, Joe Rogan to me has kind of like, I don't lost respect for him. I used to look at him like he has a good comedic mind. Now I just look at him like, I'm rich and I'm bored and I'm looking for stuff to occupy my time.
But if you, I mean, and you think about it too, it really is like, when you have that platform where you have to get on the microphone every day, or you feel like
You
need
don't have to. If you have nothing to say, stop.
No, exactly. So you just get up there and you just start speaking. You just start talking.
Right.
And now the feedback is so immediate that it's like, now you're responding, and it's like 90% of the time, I bet when that idea started in Joe Rogan's head, he didn't really care about it that much.
Yeah.
But then he started getting feedback, and oh no, you're wrong, no, you're right, no, and all of a sudden now he's like deep in on InfoWars talking to Alex fucking Jones about God knows what.
That's a funny point you just made. That people feel the pressure to produce content every day. There's a reason why podcasting is lazy and radio shows are not. And the reason radio shows are not lazy is because we can't just show up like we're doing right now, and we're on a 12-minute rant on Alex Jones.
I know that started talking about Florida.
Yeah, because that's where it goes. That's where it happens, man. That's where the old white people go to get crazier.
Right? You were like, "Hey, do you want a podcast?" And I was like, "Sure." I have nothing prepared. I haven't even showered
I have
today.
plenty of things to talk about. My point is you made a great point. Is that if you're not going to be prepared and you're just going to go in like we're going to come up with gold, you're going to start to dig up like BS and weird conspiracy theories, and you just need to crank out, and there's no editing process.
And
there's a
then-
reason we have to pitch segments on a radio show, and we have 4 minutes to do it, and it has to be good because we get rated on how many people listen at that moment in time, not just how many people stream a show.
Well, and-
which once you get one listen, it doesn't say like, well, they listen 8 minutes, and then Brian said that people drink a water bottle deep throating it and it turns them gay, and I'm out on that.
They're to click off to the next podcast.
But I said it joking,
But
guys.
I mean, the problem, I think part of what the problem with so Joe Rogan, let's say he goes out there and says some wild conspiracy theory. He gets reformation of that idea, both positive and negative, but all that does is reaffirm to him that this is something to talk about.
Man. There's something
well,
here.
look, we got something to talk about. And pretty soon you're going to dig into one side or the
Right.
other, and you don't necessarily even believe that.
And also-
how could you believe 90% of this garbage?
Here's the beauty of living in the comment section of your YouTube videos. Is that a lot of people comment without actually listening to your nonsense. Okay,
Sure, they see like a clip or
No,
read
they didn't see the clip. They just
read
see
the comments.
They just see the title of the video, and they see the title of the video that says Joe Rogan on the Alex Jones podcast or whatever, and then InfoWars, and then they go down, and the first person who says something they disagree with, boom, we've got a fight in the comment section, and no one actually is listening to what has been said. That's my biggest problem with like clickbait titles, is that people end up fighting on Twitter over the title of an article. They never even get into what it actually says. I mean, for God's sake, and please don't get fired up about this, but Donald Trump has not even read the Mueller report yet. He literally said he has not read it, but has a lot of firm opinions on Twitter, and people are then fighting, and I don't want to talk about his opinions on the Mueller report, Pat. I don't want you fired up on Trump stuff. We got other things to cover. But people are now fighting about whether or not his statements are accurate when the guy hasn't read them, and now the fight becomes about this and that and pointing fingers and you're an idiot, no, you're an idiot, but no one's actually read the thing because half it's redacted.
I mean, yeah, no one. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I don't have to talk about it. I don't want to talk.
All right,
about
hit me
it.
with some music. Let's move on. Don't think I've left you alone, Florida. I got plenty for you today.
Yeah, you guys are idiots. Speaking of the clickbait titles, I've been all about clickbait.
Yeah,
in our
you have been.
titles
I've
lately.
actually been impressed. Today you're
Coachella's
gonna
for
be-
losers.
today you're gonna
Water
name-
makes you gay.
Yes.
Alex Jones is awesome.
No, don't say that. Just water makes you gay. And
Whatever we
here's-
talk about next.
Here's something for Florida. Oh, what we're gonna talk about next is, do you have any like victory music? Do you have anything that sounds like reeking of victory? Or you could just punch up right now on the, just hit some other thing. I have an announcement to make. I mean, that's. I got 5 on it. There we go.
There you go.
That's perfect. Let it ride. I'm gonna do it like an announcer. Like I'm announcing like a future UFC fight. As of today, coming May 8th, Wednesday morning, 11 a.m. Brian's getting a colonoscopy. DJ Horns.
Yay! Hooray!
Finally happened, guys. Finally happened. Finally happened. I'm gonna go ahead and fade that on out. I went today for my consultation. This is pretty funny. They asked when I wanted to get my colonoscopy because they do them on Wednesdays and Fridays, right? And I was like, well, Wednesday, because Friday sometimes I travel and I got stuff to do. I ain't trying to do a colonoscopy on a Friday. But then they were like, well, okay, we've got a couple openings on Wednesdays. We've got May 1st. I'm like, we got a lot of stuff going on that week, man. We've got some comedy shows. We got Cinco de Mayo.
Our cousin's wedding.
All of a sudden, I'm realizing like, I maybe not that week. And they go, okay, the only other opening we have is May 8th or not till like the middle of June. I'm like, oh, we got to do it. Listen, and this is how funny it is. I was like, woof, we got to do May 8th a little bit. We got to do May 8th because school gets out for LA School District early June and I ain't trying to waste a colonoscopy day. You know what I mean? Because I got mine scheduled for after the radio show, so I'm going to be on the liquid diet. So you can help me out. You do the what? What diet do you do? You know it more than I do. I just got the brochure about it.
What do you do for? I've had so many of these different things.
We got to be on clear liquids for 24 hours.
Clear liquids for 24 hours. You don't want any like fiber or anything like that in there.
They said no nuts either.
No nuts or seeds.
If you eat any nuts, you got to do the cleanse twice.
Yeah, and the seeds can end up looking like polyps. Like they're easy to get.
Yeah, and then they try to like remove those things.
My buddy Brian had to do it twice, and they were like, "Your diet's too fiber heavy," and he was like, "I don't even remember the last time I ate a vegetable." Like,
what the hell is fiber? By the way,
it's a lot of stuff.
I don't know. That's the thing where the people say it's like it's like fiber. I don't even know what that means.
There's different kinds of fiber too. Fat soluble, non.
All right, so I got to do that, and then I also
and then you also have to do the other part of it, which is
that shit your pants cleanse thing.
Yes, which is very slimming.
Good, man. I'm looking for that.
Not bad.
I might actually ask if they can get a prescription for like once a day. Once a week, maybe? You want to do that once a week?
Yeah, just to get your butt checked out once a week. I mean, I'm surprised that when they said there wasn't any openings until mid-June, they didn't suggest the one gaping opening, your anus.
Is that a joke?
I don't know.
I mean,
I wanted to say it earlier when you were like, they had no openings. I was going to be like, what about your butt?
What about your butt? Your big butt?
Yeah, what about your big butthole?
Butt. Yeah, dude. Really good
So
joke,
I decided
man.
to squeeze it in.
It's classic. Man. You know who else would have nailed that joke? Alex Jones always talking about why people get so gay.
Colonoscopies are...
I will let a doctor stick a camera in my butt. No way. Don't listen, West Hollywood homos. That's ridiculous. Anyways, so I'm looking forward to it because I think it'll be an interesting... it'll be an interesting situation not to miss a day of the radio show. You know what I mean? Like they were willing to say, "Yeah, you can come, you can leave."
I like how
it.
you're excited about not missing work. Most people are like, "Yes, I get the day off."
Yeah, but for me, I think the important part, and you should applaud this, Pat, as someone trying to further the cause of colonoscopies and
it's not that hard.
Colorectal cancer is I want to not miss the show because I want people to realize that it's not the craziest uprooting of your life.
Sure.
I can fit it in around my work schedule. They said you can do it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You're good for the next day if you want to. Just depend. It just changes the time in which you got to take that poop your pants.
Listen,
elixir.
you guys, you can squeeze it in just like they can squeeze a camera up your anus.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go like a gayer joke, like
No.
like you squeeze a dick and you're really gay boy.
No.
Anyway, but I'm interested to see that morning of the procedure, I have to take the laxative stuff. I can't drink any liquids after 7 a.m. So I'll do the last 3 hours of the radio show just liquid free, I guess, and then I'll roll right over, and then They were like, you got to have someone pick you up. I'm like, oh, Pat's going to love this.
Got you.
Pat's going to be right there with a microphone in front of my face so that he can actually hear.
It'll be, yeah.
I'm
hopefully
actually worried.
it's funnier than when I got my colonoscopy.
Well, no, you said you wanted to be the best Uber driver on the planet, which was kind of sad that was like your fantasy when you were coming out of anesthesia.
I know.
You said you were going to be like Fast and the Furious, but then it got considerably less funny when you were told that you had cancer. That was a real bummer.
It did.
That was a real bummer.
And he was so nice because he was like, I came too, I remember, and he was like, listen, we found 9 polyps.
That's bad.
And one of them, we took out 8, and one of them was too big to come out. So it's going to need surgery to come out.
Right, they can't just scrape it off with like a little rake.
And that's when you could hear kind of like, even in the audio, you can hear us both be like, oh.
We're like,
shit.
What does that even mean? I think you asked a question like...
No, and he said...
He's like, no, they can go through like your stomach and they don't even have to go through the walls.
Yeah, they can go...
Which is how they did it for you, right?
Well, but what he said when he called me, because that was a Thursday, then on Monday he called me to tell me they got the biopsy back, and that's the first time that I heard that it was cancer. And he was like, listen, man, I totally could have told you it was cancer on Thursday, but I didn't want to ruin your weekend. And I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, it's kind of nice.
That was nice of you to be.
Because he was like, I knew what it was. I've seen cancer before. It's like,
Yeah, well, also, you don't want to
Misdiagnose.
He's not even in a position to diagnose. He would have just said, look, this is problem.
Like what he said. It's like, it's going to need surgery to come out. Like, definitely whatever
It's
it is
coming
has to come
out no matter what.
Yeah.
This polyp is coming out. But the thing about colon cancer, which I thought he made an interesting point today, was that it's one of the only cancers that originates from a polyp. It can be prevented with colonoscopy.
Yeah, no, I know. That's why it's so ridiculous.
Like, I don't think people realize that you're not just... Because I just think people always go for those hacky, like Jerry Seinfeld, like, oh, they stick a camera up your butt. I thought the paparazzi was invasive. You know, it's pretty good. Good impression, right? Yeah. But they don't just. It's not like they're looking up your ass for fun. You know what I mean? Like I think that the whole misnomer with colonoscopies is that there's no point to them because we don't like they're gonna remove the polyps. You jackasses.
When they go in your butt, they take the polyps out. Like they take them out right.
But that's a key issue that I don't think anyone's talking about. I think they're just saying like, oh, they stick a camera in your ass. It's not for fun. They don't just want to go look at your intestines.
It's not really like, obviously it's more invasive than a prostate check, and you have to get a prostate check, but
is it more invasive than a prostate check? How do they check your prostate?
I don't know. They put a finger up your butt. It's
that,
more invasive
I only
technically,
know
but you're awake for it. At least a colonoscopy, you're asleep. Like it doesn't even. It's nothing.
I only know the prostate check. What I know about it, I don't even know if it's accurate. From American Pie. That's it.
Oh, when Stifler gets his prostate checked.
Yeah, and and
he falls in love.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. I don't even know if that's anywhere near
it
accurate.
is. It's a gland that's like up somewhere between. I think it's above your taint.
But you got to go from the inside.
Yeah.
It's got to be an inside job.
Technically, they check your prostate when they make you cough. Like, or is that your test?
No, that's for hernias. They check for hernias. I don't even think they really do that.
Either way, it's not like getting a physical. Like it shouldn't be like. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, at 50, everyone's got to get a colonoscopy because you got to get a colonoscopy. It's like, no, this is actually like a pre-cancer screening.
Yeah.
Like that's what this is. It's not like just gotta get it done. It's like this could save your life.
But that's why the jokes are hacky though. And here's where I think that comics are like enragingly dismissive of things. Like Seinfeld, if you're gonna do the joke, look, I get it. The whole paparazzi invading your life thing is funny. But actually talk about, can you write a joke about what they're actually trying to do, which is prevent cancer, not just shove a hammer up your butt because they're some sort of like glutton for voyeuristic activities of looking inside your body.
What's funny about Dr. Tabib, when I got my colonoscopy, he took pictures while he was in there.
Showed you what it looked like?
Well, no. Well, I mean, he took pictures, and then that was part of my file. It was like, here's all the problem spots, and there was a lot. There were so many pictures that I went to my new doctor and gave him the pictures and like gave him the file, and he started flipping through and he was like, whoa. And I was like, what? He was like, I've never seen this many pictures of a colon. He's like, I don't even know. There's like 75 pictures here. Like,
he's like, he three-dimensionally mapped
I think
your
he
colon.
just got in there and was just like, man, this guy's colon is crazy. I've never seen anything like it. Like he was like paparazzi in there. I wonder if it has a flash.
Paparazzi. So May 8th, guys, mark it down on your calendars because that's going to be a big day. Maybe we'll definitely have some audio for the podcast. I'll make Pat record whatever I do.
Yeah,
and
no.
we'll talk about. I'll be on the flush the day before.
I mean, honestly, like I am really, I'm very proud of you for doing this because I know it was not an easy process, like dealing with insurance.
Well, once I got the insurance thing fixed, because these jackasses didn't have my information entered correctly at Blue Cross for an entire year. Then once I got that figured out, it was pretty easy.
I mean, yeah, and it is easy once you get it figured out. That said, I'm still getting bills for mine that are just like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Tell everyone the number of the bill you got from UCLA Medical Center today.
Yeah.
Just tell them the number.
It was Cedars-Sinai, by the way.
Cedars-Sinai.
They are the fucking worst.
Yeah, they're
Fuck
evil.
you guys, Cedars-Sinai. You guys suck.
No, because it's funny. Tell people the number that says amount billed.
I have a million things in collection right now. And because the way that they give medical bills is they wait 6 months and then they send them to you real sneaky one time and then they send it directly.
But also, isn't this supposed to go directly to Blue Cross?
I mean, it should. Like, I shouldn't have to be paying this, like a lot of this stuff. But then
Right.
Blue Cross says no, like 6 months after they get billed. Then they send me, then the medical whoever sends me a bill and they're like, hey, you owe this because insurance didn't cover it. Blah, blah, blah. So I got a call from a collections agency a couple weeks ago, and they were like, hey, you owe like $650 to Cedars-Sinai. And I was like, doubt it. Like, send me all the bills so that I know what it's for. First of all, most of it was for checkups that I owed for when I went to the doctor who was misdiagnosing my cancer. So the 3 times I went in there last year and he misdiagnosed my cancer, they were trying to charge me $200 for each
and you're like,
one.
why would I pay for that?
I'm not paying for that.
That's like I go in for you to fix the engine of my car, and my car doesn't work, and you're like,
no, it's fine.
$800. Well, here's the thing that's funny about it, and I think everyone should do this because I've done this with my HOA that I'm currently like in litigation with because they're scam artists who keep continuing to live the lie. Good luck with that, guys. But you ask for itemized lists of what are the charges, what is this for? Because people love to throw a number at you and be like, well, you owe us this. I don't know. Here's the thing. What I owe you
For what?
What is it? Send me an itemized list of what I owe you for, and let's argue the charges because a lot of times someone will just throw the number at you, and be like, you owe us this. I owe you that as much as you tell me I do. That's as much as I owe it to you. You have no proof that I owe you anything, and if you think I owe you, the problem is probably on your end with not billing the right people. And when they say no, go back to them and say, oh yeah, no, you're wrong, Blue Cross. Like you do have to pay for
owe this
because you've hit your deductible or whatever it is.
You're out of pocket.
So whenever somebody says that you owe them money, come back with them like, send me a list. And when they send you some half-ass, some weird thing with like a bunch of billing number and it just doesn't make sense, they're lying to you.
Yeah.
That's what happens. That's how I busted my HOA. I said, yo, look, I want documentation. Why do I owe you this money? How did I just move into a house and you guys blew it? Like, how is my house the wrong color and I just bought it 30 days ago? Now I want a list of everything that's been billed, and then you know what they do? They dance around it. They don't have the list. They can't find it. In a day and age of computers, you tell me you can't find something. I mean, you're an idiot.
I mean,
and you're lying.
You're not paying it. So I asked for a list because I was like, well, I'm not paying this unless I know what it's for. I'm not just going to pay you $600. I don't think I owe this. So they sent it to me. Half of it is for the doctor, or most of it's for the doctor that tried to kill me. And I was like, I'm not paying that.
Yeah,
and
sorry, bud.
And then there was one other bill in there, and I started flipping around through all the bills that they sent me, and all of a sudden I get to this one page, and it's got all this gobbledygook nonsense. It doesn't make any sense on it. And you're just kind of like,
they do. They try to confuse you.
yeah, you're like,
They're like, hey, look over here.
Like,
and then they're
yeah.
like, here's the number.
Why'd you even stick this in there? And then right up along the top, near my name and some other useless information, it says total payments. And next to that, it says $3,117,869.75.
75 cents.
So, because my roommate saw it and he was like, well, that's got to be a typo. I was like, then why did they go down to the cents?
Down to the penny?
I mean, they didn't just accidentally put a comma instead of a period after $3 and then go down to the nth
and they
of a
just
cent.
forgot to round to the nearest.
last
I don't know what you can
thousandth of a
pay
cent.
with a penny.
I mean, they literally think that somehow whatever happened there was worth $3 million. Give me a fucking break.
See that kind of
It's
thing,
nonsense.
Those kind of things when they slip and they let it kind of leak about how much they think what you went through costs is why you realize why our goddamn healthcare is so expensive in this country, because the insurance companies play defense and the medical providers play offense, and they're just trying to see who will win. Because guess what? It costs them 44 cents to shoot you a bill saying you owe $600 on the crapshoot that you pay it. It's like I look at that email or that letter saying you owe $600. That's a Nigerian scammer telling you that your rich uncle died in the mountains.
fuck off.
They're just taking a money shot at you. It doesn't matter.
I know. A lot of times it's bills you've already paid. There's duplicates. There was a billing error. There was, a $3 million all made up. I mean, this is why when people are like, we can't have universal health care because then I can't see the doctor I want. And then there's going to be long lines and blah, 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 blah. Here's the deal. The doctor that you like to see is also trying to fuck you.
Yeah,
that's
right.
That's the system. So just because I like my doctor at UCLA Medical Center. I think he's really good. He did a good job and everything. I'm now receiving bills from them. I go in for chemotherapy. I pay a $25 copay. I've already paid all my out of pocket. I've reached my deductible.
Right.
Everything's all good, right? I'm just paying $25 for my copay. Fucking wrong. 3 months later, I get 5 different bills for at least $1,000, up to $2,500. From who? From the doctor that I like. So who cares? It doesn't matter if you like them. They're still using you as a way to just generate business. That's it. That's all you are to them is a number. So who gives a shit? And if you have to wait in a long line to not have to pay that kind of money, those absurd amounts to see numbers like $3 million or $67,000 for a colonoscopy, then we need universal health care. Anyone who's complaining about universal health care really hasn't been through the system, and fuck you for being greedy. If you think that we don't need universal health care, tell that to me when I'm, well,
you're just seeing what happens.
Tell that to me, seriously, or tell that to anybody else who's gone through some sort of, long-term medical care.
The thing that's happening is it's perspective, right? So people who argue against universal health care haven't had to deal with the healthcare system a lot, right?
No, they just want their lives to be easier.
What's happened is that you've been in a situation where the wizard has been pulled out from behind the curtain, and you've seen that the exorbitant amount of money that these things cost, and that they bill the insurance company, and you've been hit with bills for no reason that you shouldn't have to pay. And you're like, look, there is an issue here when it's just $67,000 for a 3-hour procedure. You know what I mean? There's no way in the world that makes any sense.
It's a made-up number.
Right. But they're pulling it out of the air and just sticking a price tag on something. And then insurance can be like, well, we're going to debate. We're going to debate that. And you're like, well, you can't just debate it. Like, I'm not going to pay $67,000.
No.
I would have just, if you're going to, a lot of people in this country, if you flat out told a lot of people in their 40s in this country that, look, it's going to cost you $67,000 to see if you have colon cancer, they're going to be like, I'm going to roll the dice. Just in case.
Sure.
Because that's too much money.
Sure.
I can't afford that. That's never going to happen.
But that's the other problem with the system is people can argue whatever they want for our taxes are going to go up and, whatever the justification is for not having universal health care, for not protecting everyone from being sick, or, which seems like it should be
right.
a right
No-brainer.
Of every person. You can go ahead and throw as many reasons for why you don't think that system is right. But honestly, the way that it works is now that I have been sick and I'm considered sick and had to go through all this treatment, I'm a big moneymaker for them. I'm a cash cow. I'm drawing in. I'm now stuck with all these bills that I can't pay based on
somebody's naming a boat after you.
Exactly. One of the three.
Somebody in Florida is naming a boat after you. Some crazy old white man who's coming up with more conspiracy theories by the second.
Pat shit's blood and money.
Whoa, geez.
I mean, that's it's really infuriating. And when I hear these kind of arguments where people are like, "Well, I don't want to have to drive. What if I can't pick my doctor anymore?" Blah blah blah. Okay, boo, fucking who? Also, what a lame thing to be worried about. That you're not going to be comfortable with someone else. Grow a fucking pair.
I feel like it, and I might be wrong because I'm not sure about.
I get fired up.
I know you are. That's why I'm trying to diffuse it. Also, by the way, we did open the show by ripping on crazy white people with conspiracy theories, and we just went down one about insurance.
It's not a conspiracy.
I know some people would say it is.
I mean, what conspiracy is there? Come and look at the bills that I have.
Here's one. Well, here's the thing.
They just make it up. There's no other system in the world where you show up and they're like, we're going to do a procedure to you. How much does it cost? Don't worry about it. Just pay us $25 right now.
They flip through an automotive pricing guide.
Yeah, but they don't do it until after you've done the procedure and 3 weeks after that. So it's oh no, just $25 today and you're fine. And then we'll send you a bill for anywhere from $100 to $10,000.
I mean, I still don't
and not explain why.
I don't understand a lot of stuff. I remember, so my ex-wife I kept her on my insurance because I'm a decent human being. And at this point, I really don't care if this ever gets out to the UK press or to her. I don't care. I was trying to be nice. She told me she had cancer. She flat out said that to me. And this is it. We were already divorced, and she told me she had cancer. And I was like, geez.
In a figurative way, she is a cancer.
Right. So I said, like, look, you know what? Okay, I can't renew my insurance with you on it. Like, that's fraud. But what I can do is continue to ignore changing my insurance status, because we got divorced in March of 2017, and that's when it was finalized. We were going through it for a good 3 months before that. You know what I can do? I can just ignore it. I can just say no big deal. If you have cancer, because I'm trying to be like, whoa, I don't want you to have to try to get new. Look, I don't like you. I think you're an awful person, and I don't want to be around you. But I also don't want you to try to have to get insurance again with a pre-existing condition of possibly cancer. So I'm trying to be like considerate of that. Turns out when my insurance expired, she'd racked up $17,000 in bills. And I was like looking at it, and it to me, I saw it and I was like, whoa, this is insane. Well, like, bills ain't coming to me, so I don't know what's going on with these. 17 grand. Oh my God, like, the tests are crazy. And I all I could see was like ultrasound. And I was like, I mean, they probably ultrasound for like tumors and stuff. Well, they also ultrasound for babies. So she basically stuck the tab for me for the baby she had with her baby daddy. And when I found that out, I was just like, I was miffed at this. I'm like, you know what? Just when I thought you couldn't get any worse, you go ahead and do something way worse.
Yeah.
Do not redeem yourself.
Maybe what she meant was based on when her due date was, the baby is going to be a cancer.
I mean,
like it's astrological.
Oh, you mean like it's
sign.
astrological sign?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
it was born in July. Is that a cancer?
I don't know.
I don't. It's just crazy to me because at this point, I talked to Blue Cross Blue Shield when I was getting my new insurance with my new show, my new company. And I'm like, hey, I have an account with you guys like in Texas. Now I got one in Philly, technically. I don't know how any of you guys communicate. You're under the same umbrella, but I'm not exactly sure. And I think I got like 17,000. Not me, but I know it's under a name attached to me. And they looked it up and they're like, yeah, it says it's outstanding. And I'm like, well, who do they send those bills to? And they're like, doesn't say. And I'm like, well, they're not coming to me, and no one's phone called. Like, my phone's on the account. So I have no clue how any of it works. And I'm assuming at some point in time, someone's
get a bill.
It's going to happen, right? Eventually.
I mean, yeah. Probably.
I've tried to like proactively figure this out because I don't want to be ambushed with a $17,000 bill at the worst possible time.
That's what they're going to do. That's just how it works. I mean, even when I was like questioning the $67,000 colonoscopy from a doctor that I like, but the lady who got super pissed at me for calling like 3 times to ask for clarification was like, listen, there's a bunch of doctors, lawyers, and board members who sit in a room and decide what it costs, and it's too complicated for you to understand. Right. It's like, that's not an explanation.
But also, that's just someone going like, look, dude, I'm trying to not tell you what is the truth, which is, I look it up and I type in numbers.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
The truth is, I don't know where they came up with the number. They pulled it out of their ass. Like, they pulled the camera out of your ass.
And they pulled out the third of your colon right out of your butt.
Yeah.
What, are you done?
I don't know. Are we done?
I don't know. I feel like we've been ranting enough.
We've been ranting
I wanted to talk about Florida a little more, but I think Florida
it's
got
fine.
enough today.
It's fine. We got on our own conspiracy theories. But, I mean, long story short on the whole healthcare colonoscopy thing is, if you're worried about something with your health, get it checked.
That's right.
Get it checked. I mean, I got a colonoscopy just for peace of mind because you
got a colonoscopy because you hadn't pooped in 2 weeks.
Well, but the doctor kept telling me I was fine.
Yeah, well,
so
that's
like
true.
I went around it like, don't listen to the medical community out there. They are not looking out for your best interest. They're not.
We are getting so InfoWars, the irony of this podcast.
They're not. It's not a conspiracy.
They're not looking at your best interest.
It's not a
the man is trying to screw you right in the butt. Oh, God, I'm Alex Jones. That was a good out, man.
Yeah,
I'm telling
sure.
you.
I'm not. It's not a fucking conspiracy theory.
I'm gonna
I
keep doing
showed
it.
you total payments of $3 million.
$3 million like a rich trying to screw you.
I'm gonna stop talking because you're starting to piss me off.
Bro.
I'm actually bringing up, trying to make a real point, and you're fucking Alex Jonesing me.
Well, that's because I'm trying to find a funny out on the show, man.
Turn the frogs gay.
Oh, these goddamn gay frogs all over the place, and they're gay lily pads. I always knew lily pads were gay. Lily pads will turn you gay. You sit on a lily pad.
You done? Or you done?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
All right. We're out.
What does building a better bank look like? It starts with building Capital One cafes, warm, inviting places that feel nothing like a typical bank, where you can open an account with no fees or minimums in 5 minutes. And you'll always find people ready to help you, not sell you. Welcome to Banking Reimagined. What's in your wallet?
For consumers only. Offered by Capital One and a member FDIC. Cafes available in select locations. Copyright 2018 Capital One.